How are prokaryotic cells different from other cells? Imagine a tiny world where life begins in the simplest form. That's what prokaryotic cells are all about. They are the most basic units of life, yet they play a huge role in our planet's ecosystems. So, how are they different from other cells? Let's find out. Prokaryotic cells are much smaller than eukaryotic cells, usually only about 0.1 to 5 micrometers across. To picture that, a human hair is about 100 micrometers thick, so these cells are tiny. Unlike eukaryotic cells, they do not have a true nucleus. Instead, their DNA floats freely in a region called the nucleoid. This is different from eukaryotic cells, which have a membrane-bound nucleus that keeps their DNA safe and organized. Another big difference is their internal structure. Prokaryotic cells lack membrane-bound organelles like mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, or Golgi apparatus. These organelles are like tiny factories inside eukaryotic cells, each with a specific job. Without them, prokaryotic cells have a simpler setup, which makes them faster to reproduce and adapt. Speaking of reproduction, prokaryotic cells reproduce through a process called binary fission. It's a quick way for a cell to split into two identical copies. Eukaryotic cells, on the other hand, can reproduce through both mitosis and meiosis, which are more complex processes that allow for genetic variation. This difference helps explain why bacteria and archaea, which are types of prokaryotes, are usually unicellular, while eukaryotes can be both single-celled and multicellular like plants, animals, fungi, and protists. Prokaryotic cells also have a cell wall that provides shape and protection. In bacteria, this wall is made of a chemical called peptidoglycan, which is different from the cell walls of plants and fungi. Plant cells have cell walls made of cellulose, and fungal cells have walls made of chitin. The ribosomes in prokaryotic cells are smaller and slightly different in shape compared to the larger ribosomes in eukaryotic cells, which are responsible for making proteins. Understanding these differences helps explain many things about life. For example, bacteria are prokaryotes and behave differently from the cells in our bodies, which are eukaryotic. It also explains why antibiotics can target bacteria without harming our own cells. Plus, knowing how simple cells like prokaryotes work helps scientists learn how life on Earth started and evolved over billions of years. So, in a nutshell, prokaryotic cells are like tiny, simple life forms that lack a nucleus and many internal structures found in larger, more complex cells. They are fast, efficient, and from the foundation of all living things on Earth. This makes them fascinating and essential to understanding the living world around us.